Ciao tutti, buongiorno. Hi everyone, I'm Chef Jan. Are you ready to cook like an Italian? I sure hope so, because we have got an amazing Italian appetizer. So if I'm being perfectly honest with you, I love to eat with my fingers. So I love finger foods and I love anything deep fried. And so this really speaks to me, and I hope it speaks to you too. Deep fried ravioli bites are just morsels of goodness dipped in a nice tomato sauce. So I've got oil in my skillet and I want to bring it up to 375. So the perfect temperature for frying is between 365 and 375. That is magic, because then it won't be too hot and it won't be too oily. So 375 is what I'm shooting for. Also, another great secret of people that love to deep fry, say chicken and things like that, is always add a combination of vegetable oil and Crisco shortening. The combination is perfect because it extends the heat life of the oil so that you can cook longer without the oil burning. So that's a great combination, 50-50. All right, so waiting for that to come. Now, I'm using the mini raviolis today, and I've already pre-cooked them and set them on a paper towel to drain. So I don't want a lot of water. I want them to be sort of dry. So now we're doing a dredging station here, and in one bowl I've got breadcrumbs, Italian breadcrumbs, and this is panko. Combination of breadcrumbs and panko is interesting because they basically do the same thing, but one is going to add a little bit more crunch and the breadcrumbs will adhere to the ravioli more, so it's a good combination. I'm also adding Italian seasoning, even though I'm using Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and a little bit of salt. So that goes in one dredging bowl. The next one has a couple of eggs and a half a cup of milk. And what we're going to do with these is we are going to double dredge. So let me just get this a little bit whisked up. Break that up just a tad. Checking my oil. Let me just crank that heat up just a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, I want to just stir those crumbs a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to take the ravioli and we're going to dip it first in the egg, then in the breadcrumb. Now we're going to go back into the egg. We're going to do a double coating because it's so yummy and delicious, and it'll hold up really well in the frying pan. Double dipped. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more while I'm waiting for that to come up. Here we go. Okay, into the egg, into the bread, into the egg. So I'm going to go ahead and finish getting all of these coated, double, and we will be right back. By that time, my temperatures should be up so we can deep fry them, and we'll put together the tomato sauce. I've got most of my ravioli deep fried, 371, so that's perfect. 375 is tops. And it doesn't take long, so I'm just putting them in the oil. Be very, very careful when you're using fried oil. Don't ever throw food in there. Just put it in there gently. Otherwise it'll splatter. And if your tongs have water, or if anything has water on them, keep it away from the oil. That's where you get the splatter. So look at this. Doesn't take long at all. Give this a turn. They're just lovely, and this is why you want that nice hot oil. And remember, the combination of vegetable oil and Crisco is ideal. All right, so I'm setting them just on a cooling rack to drain. And while those are draining and cooling, I've made a little sauce. Put this aside. And the dipping sauce is fantastic. So it's chopped tomatoes, some parsley, chopped basil, a little bit of garlic, and honey adds such a beautiful sweetness. And then of course our Queen Creek extra virgin olive oil. You're going to cook that down for about 10-15 minutes and you'll end up with a beautiful, beautiful dipping sauce, just like that. So I'm going to get it all plated up, ready for me to taste and for you to want to taste. We'll be right back. We're cooking like an Italian. Finito, all done. Look at these deep fried ravioli bites. I really wish you were in the kitchen with me to try these, but I'm gonna take one for the team, okay? So crispy, crunchy, deep fried ravioli bites, any filling you want. You could do cheese or cheese and spinach, and then you're gonna dip it in this lovely sauce. The crunch, the flavor. Phenomenal. You're gonna love this so, so much. I will set that there for you. And when we come back, the most amazing meatballs you'll ever have. We're cooking and eating like an Italian. Welcome back to Cook Like an Italian. Who doesn't love a great meatball? Who isn't looking for a great meatball? And you have found the perfect meatball right here. I'm so excited to share this with you. So many people that have made this recipe have said it's the best meatball they've ever had. So it's really, really wonderful. So it starts with some Italian sausage, bulk. I like hot. The mild has the fennel. Unfortunately, even though I'm Italian, I'm not a real fennel person, but if you like the sweet traditional fennel, then go ahead and use that. But I like the hot Italian sausage generally. It kind of gives it a kick. The next thing I'm going to use are breadcrumbs. You can use the Italian breadcrumbs or the plain. A couple of eggs. Some good Parmesan cheese. Now most meatball recipes call for onions and garlic. I would ask you to go ahead and saute your onions and garlic ahead of time and then cool them down. I sauteed these in this beautiful Queen Creek olive oil. Very wonderful, full-bodied, 100% organic. And it just, when you saute the onions and the garlic ahead of time, you're gonna get that beautiful sweetness in your meatballs. So just make sure to cool it down before you put it in the meats. A little bit of parsley. And guess what the secret ingredient is in this meatball? Guess, just take a guess. Water. This was such a huge discovery. You can either do water or milk. I know that when you make meatloaf, you use milk often. A little bit of water is going to create the most beautiful and moist meatball you could ever have. Just a quarter of a cup, believe it or not, is all you need. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this together. I'm gonna roll them up into about 2-inch balls. Now, you have a choice when you're making meatballs. You can either cook them in a skillet on the cooktop, or you can cook them in the oven. I really prefer the oven. They stay nice and tight together. They cook evenly and they don't stick to the pan. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. So let me go ahead and mix this up. I will roll them into balls, get them in the oven, and then we will make a really fun, surprising, edible bowl to go with these. We're gonna make Frico cups. Those are Parmesan cups. Yummy, yummy, yummy. We're cooking like an Italian. I've got all of my meatballs pretty much rolled up. And you know, when I teach classes in Arizona and we do this meatball recipe, it starts off, because I'm thinking I want meatball to be pretty uniform. And it starts off, they all look uniform, and then as they get tired, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So by the end of the sheet pan, the meatballs are this big. So don't be lazy, make them all the same size. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside. And then at the same time, we need a place for those yummy meatballs to go. And we're gonna make, it's called Frico cups. So these are just cheese cups. And what you're gonna do is make a combination of Parmesan and Jack. Why the combination? Jack cheese is gonna help glue the Parmesan together. So I'm gonna just grab a handful. Now it's gonna spread, so don't cramp them. Got a nice bunch right there. A nice bunch right here. And what we're gonna do once these cook is we're gonna put them on a cupcake tin upside down to create a form. All right, so I'm gonna put these in the oven at the same time, but these are gonna come out in 6 minutes and the meatballs are gonna come out in 15 minutes, both at 400 degrees. And wait till you see how fun these are. We're cooking like an Italian. The meatballs are still cooking, but the Frico cups are ready. So the cheese cooked for about maybe 10 minutes, and I have Teflon hands, so I can do this, but you might want to cool them down. What I'm doing is I'm taking the cheese, see it just kind of melted together, and I'm setting them on top or the bottom of a cupcake pan. That is a little toasty, I will tell you that right now. But you only have a window of time. You have about a minute or two before they harden up to the point where they're not gonna mold on the cupcake tin. So I'm just grinning and bearing it here right now. You could actually take a paper towel and just press it down, and that'll help you out a little bit. We got one more here. Now see, already it's starting to get almost too hard. So you really do have about 1 or 2 minutes before you're not gonna be able to make them pliable anymore. Okay, so we're just gonna set these aside. I'm gonna go check on the meatballs, and we'll have a nice little snack. How's that? We're cooking like an Italian. The meatballs are out of the oven, everyone. My Frico cups are all ready to go, and now it's time to assemble my beautiful, beautiful Mama's meatballs. Okay, so look at this. It doesn't take long at all for them to harden up, and it's just a wonderful little organic edible bowl. So you're just gonna take them out, set them on your platter. Look how pretty they are. They're all random and all different, and boy, are they delicious. If you've never had crunchy baked cheese, it is a must. I'm gonna put a little bit of marinara sauce on the bottom, just as a bottom layer to my meatballs. Just like that. So good. You have to promise me that you're gonna make these meatballs, and then email me at my website and let me know if you like them. Okay, we can put one right on there, get a nice big one right on there, and a big one right on there. Look at how gorgeous this is, right? Delicious, fun. You can eat the meatball with your fingers, with your fork, and then you're gonna crunch that cheese, and it is a beautiful thing. Okay, I'm gonna go get those ravioli out of the oven. They've been warming, all ready to go. We'll come back and we will plate it all up for you. We're cooking like an Italian. Are you ready to eat like an Italian? Okay, good, because here we go. We made deep fried ravioli bites that were just enrobed in a breadcrumbs and egg and milk wash, and deep fried and then just kept warm in the oven. And we made a quick marinara sauce as a dipping sauce. This is a fantastic recipe for a cocktail party or just a really light meal. Then we made my Mama's meatballs, and the Frico cups are just cheese, as you saw. We put them in little bunches and baked them, and then I lifted them out, put them over a cupcake mold, and they harden up and they just look beautiful. So these are the meatball cups, and together this makes an exquisite Italian bonanza. So I want to thank you so much today for letting me share my Italian heart with you. I want to thank my awesome sponsors, Queen Creek Olive Oil, for their award-winning oil. If you ever get to Arizona, come out and check out Queen Creek Olive Mill. They have 12,000 trees and 160 different varieties, and they do olive tours, all sorts of things. Strictly From Scratch Bakery is an international bakery. They're selling wonderful eclairs and breads and all kinds of desserts all over the world. I want to thank Armando Pasta for their 100% organic pasta, milled in Italy, and it's no pesticides, no fillers, no anything. I also want to thank iHealth Networks and Bloomfield Builders. If you're ever in Arizona or if you're thinking about moving out there, give Brian Bloomfield a call. He does custom homes, he does remodeling, kitchen repair, you name it, in Arizona and Colorado. And then also the Arizona Farm Bureau and fillyourplate.org. They've made it very easy for us in Arizona to talk with farmers, get to know the fields, find out what they're growing and how they're growing it. So very important for all of us. All of the recipes, all of the information, all of my gadgets and gizmos that I'm using on the show are at my website at jandiatri.com. Go check it out, have some fun there, and we will see you next time when we cook like an Italian.